welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. Ashley. This is an inner child collective reading with the intention of healing, obviously. We're going to pick from the Wild Child, and then I've got like a fuck ton of other decks here for this reading specifically. I feel like this is going to be for like our tween self, preteen, teen self, like the angsty one in us, okay? So let's keep that in mind. Who were you at that point in time? Have you reconnected? Are you still pissed? It's valid if you are. Also just started two more projects for the shorts. Tomorrow's our last day of the shadow work. So we're going to be using these decks. We've got Sea Melodies, Whispering Woods, and those are going to be under the hashtag Nurturing Nature. And then we've got Kiss from the Cosmos, using those. And I've got some other Cosmo-y ones too that we might throw in. So that was just a commercial. Alright. We've got Cosmic Child. Highly recommend going to watch the Kiss of the Cosmos, or stay tuned for those. Those are going to become daily mid-morning time, okay? Then we have Flow. Yes, I'm listening to this song on repeat. That's what I do. Ardor. I don't know what that means, so we're going to have to look it up. Yay, we get to learn something fucking new. Wow, I don't know what this is either. Ephemeral? Ephemeral? I don't know what these were. New words. Okay, hang on. A-R-D-O-U-R. A-R-D-O-U-R. Yes, I like the def. Enthusiasm or passion. Makes sense. Okay? Wow, I've never known this word. I'm very ardor about knowing this word. Okay, and then we have yes, this word. Lasting for a very short time. Ephemeral. Ephemeral. Interesting. So, it's funny though, because we're talking about that time of life where we come from, being excited to not. So that checks out. Coming from this space of being a cosmic child, wondrous, curious, excited as fuck, to having to, step into responsibility, bodies changing, everything changing, focus changing, right? And a lot of us, I'll speak for myself and, the friends I had in the day. I don't think a lot of us were really supported in that flow. It wasn't really a flow for us. It was more of a space of resistance, whether it was, getting grounded all the time, or our parents reading our journals. My mom did that. Forcing us into this cocoon stage in that time of life. And I think a lot of us take that into adulthood, right? So much of that teenage angst isn't resolved. It becomes part of like the family dynamic of, you're the issue, right? So if that was your experience, I'm so sorry. That fucking sucks. Let's get one more from this deck, por favor. One more. Nova, don't start shit. Nova's in his teenage angst. But he's not the problem. Sometimes he is. Anyway, maybe if you're a parent, this card always, literally every single time we use this fucking deck, this speaks to the hive mentality, peer pressure, which I guess is pretty important at this time. So, I'm seeing these bugs. This one came out, remember this ephemeral, I don't remember. Lasting for a short time, and then peer pressure. So coming from this space, did I tell you that we had cocoon stage here? I think so. Coming from this stage of excitement, knowing that you're magical, having to be indoctrinated into these systems that kill your spirit. I think, a lot of us had that experience. I don't think that there's a society right now that exists where, maybe in very indigenous cultures that haven't been touched, but I think most of them have on the planet. There's a couple, but I think if you're in a, you know, the West has got their grasp on everything in this planet, and within that, the indoctrination process for children is to kill the spirit, to create them into being workers, right? And this could have happened because of, you know, some trauma that you experienced, some betrayal, which at that stage of time, any sort of betrayal is trauma, and, you know, probably vice versa as well, especially depending on who's the person doing it. But I think this hive mentality, releasing ourselves from doing things because others are doing it, or because of, you know, societal pressures. I feel like a lot of us have just been funneled into this system since this age, since this time. I know I've been in this reconnection process for this past year of really just reclaiming my fucking weirdo-ness as, like, a little kid. You know, because, like, when I was that age, I loved the things I loved, and I was obsessive about it, and, you know, for a while I was, like, nah, detached from that. So I feel like this is speaking to this reconnection to your magic, right? Which, again, like always, is the process of healing and coming into consciousness, working with our higher self, which is the best version of ourself that doesn't have to deal with being a human and, you know, capitalist society, while also healing our inner child. And our inner child does include this teen age, you know. I think that the age from, you know, 12, 13 up until 25 is such a profound time of our lives in which we are merely seen as extensions of adults, right? Oh, why do you think you can do that? Oh, you don't know what responsibility is. Oh, well, you can do this. And, you know, I think there's so much focus and pressure on becoming an adult so early that people don't even acknowledge that you're still a kid, right? I mean, your brain isn't fully formed, that's where it is, until you're 25, right? I know some of my biggest trauma happened from 14 to, you know, 23 was a big year for me, in which I ended up incarcerated and shit, and I was like, I'm still a kid, like, technically, you know? I mean, the system says that at 18 you're a legal adult, but no, the fuck you're not. Your brain isn't formed yet. I don't think you're an adult until your brain fully forms. Okay. For each of these, we have a Sacred Rebel card. They may correspond or maybe not. So, for the Cosmic Child, we have Faith in the Process. So these are two very different energies if you look at the cards. One of them is like, ah, fuck yeah. And the other one is like, oh my god, get me out of this, right? So again, that space of reconnecting to this part of us, and trusting that process. Trusting that even though we had to go through some fucking bullshit, it more than likely, you know, added to our strength and character, regardless of if we wanted to do that or not. We learned something from that, okay? I'm going to switch these around. I'm very particular about the way I know you guys don't see it, but I do. These are not, you can't stand them up, so I'm going to put these against the box. Sorry, friends, give me one sec. It's my autistic OCD kicking in for the win. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Now I can see it better. Okay, so for flow, we have a seeing the true you, right? Instead of being pressured into space, like pushed. I feel like that's the way that people look at this age, is like these little, like, chess pieces that can be moved, you know, like, ugh, you don't have your own ideas, you just get the fuck out of the way, or go over there, or do that. Like, there's just so much pushiness for this age range, for your teenage years. And it's such an important time in life, because, I mean, it's like, so much is happening. So whatever you went through that made you feel pushed, that made you feel like you couldn't flow, that made you feel like you had to, you know, like, what is this? Shrink yourself. I hope at this point in time, I know I do have some younger viewers, so if you are watching this and this is currently your lived experience in this moment, I hope that you can see who you really are, and don't let anyone take that from you. Because as you grow older, it's going to be something that you're going to long for. You're going to be yearning for your true self. So please don't let the way people treat you at this time in your life. Remember that what people do, especially to children or young people, is a lot of societal bullshit. It's mostly projections. A lot of adults, especially boomers, I don't know if these generations have boomers in them. You know, a lot of us millennials as parents have cut off our own parents because of how awful they are as grandparents. There's huge conversations about that on TikTok. But anyway, all I mean to say is boomers still run the world, right? The entire country and world are run by these dinosaurs who believe that children are not sacred, who believe that they are like a means for production. And I want you, if you are in this age range right now, to know that that's, first of all, not okay. You deserve to have your own ideas and your own place in the world. And you deserve the space and compassion to navigate that for yourself, which a lot of us didn't. Because again, the way that we grew up was children are meant to be seen, not heard, right? Don't touch that, don't talk, go upstairs, go to your room, blah, 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 like constantly disappearing us. So if that's your experience, I'm glad you have the internet, if you have access to it, because that's a really powerful third space in which you can find yourself. But yeah, for this ardour, this excitement, we have what is already within you. Wait, what is already with you? So again, not letting anyone take your fire, your excitement. Because again, that's something that you will be in the process of as an adult trying to get back to. And I'm, like I said, I'm 38 at this point. At this point. And I've spent the last year really healing my inner child at every aspect, right? Like I worked backwards from like the 20s down, and like each year I was like I've been watching movies and listening to music that I was into in those times, and it's been healing that part of me, so that I can be a better mother, honestly, so I can remember. Because I think that's the thing, as people become parents, you know, before you're parents, you're like, I would never treat my child like this, I would never forget what it feels like. And that's my big goal as a parent, is to not forget what it's like to be a kid. And I think a lot of millennials are also that way, especially since we had a childhood without the internet, the last of the generations. It was a very different time for us. So don't let anyone take your excitement, okay? And if there are unsafe adults around you who, you know, do make you feel a certain way, I would recommend, this is a weird thing to say, but I'm going to say it and then explain why I said it. I would mask your true feelings. I would present as how they want me to be without allowing them to kill your, like, it's a defense to protect the child in you, which adults should be doing for you. But if they didn't, or if they are not, you're gonna have to do that for yourself. Otherwise, again, you're gonna turn into one of those adults, which is not the vibe. Okay. All right. Ephemeral, this word that we learned that I cannot pronounce. Remember, a short-lived experience, right? Or short-lived thing. And we have diving for light. So I feel like that could speak to the darkness, whatever darkness you experienced, or it could be the opposite of that. Whatever excitement you had was short-lived, and you were, you know, funneled into this darkness. Whatever diving for light, again, the process of healing. This is talking to integrating shadow, which I feel like a lot of us received our first experiences of trauma and betrayal in this age frame, if not before. Okay, I know there's plenty of us who experienced things when we were really little. But the thing about this is, like, whatever experience it was that took our light or took our excitement, that taught us what I just said. It taught us that we had to put up a front. It taught us that we had to mask behind something. It taught us that it wasn't safe to be authentically who we are. And that's the process that we're doing over here. That's the process of coming into consciousness, is returning back to that, right? Back to that excitement, that wonder and curiosity and acceptance and authenticity, magic. Getting back to this energy, our main energy of the reading. Remember that we are just humans having, or we are spirits having a human experience. Remembering that humanity is very flawed, and that's part of the lessons that we have to learn, regardless of if it's something that we experience or something that we've done to others. And also recognizing that there's a relationship between those two. You don't just do shit to be a douche. You do stuff out of defense, out of hurt, out of anger, out of those shadow aspects. But as we heal this space within us, it's important to recognize that it was a moment. You know, it was a moment. No matter what it was a moment. And if we're thinking of life in this way, we're infinite, you know? So try not to get yourself stuck in a victim mentality, or in a space of, you know, gnarly ass coping mechanisms. I mean, cycles are important, learning is important, but whatever it is, whatever way you're coping, whatever way you're trying to find the light, try and choose self-love at the center of that, right? Love yourself the way that whoever hurt you should have loved you. And that's, again, these are lifestyle shifts and changes, okay? So be careful, all right? I love this song. It's on repeat. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I don't care. It's my autism. Whatever. Leave me alone. Okay, next we have the cocoon stage with Pandora's gift. Pandora's box is often talked about something that, like, you can't, it's like it's something you open and you can never, like, close again or something like that. So I think within the cocoon stage and Pandora's gift, think about, you know, what we were just talking about with all these other cards. Be very conscious of your healing process, and do the things that make this stage of your life person, this inner child within you, or again, if you're experiencing this in this time, allow yourself the space to remember, remember the good things too, is what I'm getting. Like, remember the magic too. Pandora, it doesn't say Pandora's box, it says Pandora's gift. So, like, that's the gift that keeps giving. And it's like this, like, once you heal yourself, once you heal these aspects or these stages of life or these relationships or these, you know, behaviors and habits that are rooted from this time in your life, you're going to be met with, you're going to get back to who you really are, which is your inner child. You're going to heal. And that's the gift that keeps on giving, because then once you heal, I just did a reading a couple days ago and I'm getting that healing yourself heals the world. And that's the Pandora's gift. It's something that is unstoppable. I mean, once you heal, sure, moments may come up, but it's not as emotionally, you're not emotionally involved at that aspect anymore, because you've, you know, taken the space and time to heal. You've, you know, mended your wings. There's a lot of wings here. A lot of wings, a lot of butterflies. The Pandora's gift is also wings, and this, these butterflies stand for transformation. She doesn't have wings, but her the way her body is. It's like, take up space. Respectfully. Okay, I'm not talking about dudes on the bus who, like, open, you know, their ball sack has to have an entire fucking spot. Like, whoa, bro. Get your knee out of my fucking life, okay? I'm talking about taking up the space that you, as a human, are, you know, what is the word here? It's a human right to take up space. This, you know, everything in this society wants you to fit into a box. Wings do not allow you to be in a box. That is freedom. And here, the last one, you are in the world, not of the world. No, in the world, not of the world. She is also expansive, right? So look at this. Our starting energy, and in the world and not of the world, is speaking to this hive mentality, to peer pressure. Don't let anyone else tell you who you are. I hate it when people go through the alley. And what you should do, that was the neighbor though, I think. Look at this. Both of these images are so fucking unbothered by anything around them, because they are the center of their own universe. Not in an egotistical way, in a healthy way of understanding that they are the embodiment of the universe, right? Again, you're a soul having a human experience. There's a lot of fish around her. This is beautiful. So, like, be so fucking unbothered, right? I'm gonna go back to these two really quick. This word, ardoir, excitement, and these butterflies, it's like this freedom, right? And these are smack dab in the center of the reading. So even just like flailing your arms around, hanging upside down, swinging, doing activities that give you that sensation of flight, you know, safely. I'm not telling anyone to like do anything dumb, you know, but like swinging or hanging upside down or like spinning, going back to like being a kid. Like, I used to be the queen of fucking monkey bars, tricks, like the quarter drops and shit, until that one time in 5th grade, Adam Drew, he's in heaven, he passed away, but he used to make fun of me for falling off the monkey bars. I remember that they laughed at me because I fell off the monkey bars during one of those trips, and I had like wood chips all over my face. It hurt, okay? But again, the kids made fun of me. This is why my kid stays at home. We're breaking generational cycles, and I don't want my kid getting bullied. He's fucking weird, and I love him for it, but other kids would not. So again, that speaks to whatever you've experienced or endured. You can heal yourself. Just try to get back into that space and allow yourself to feel the emotions that come up as you do that process. And if you need more help with that, we do this all the time. Chasing Nostalgia playlist is specifically for inner child healing. Daily Decolonizing, the shadow work and integrating shadow work playlists. Those are like the 3 main aspects that you need to really heal yourself. To work alongside your higher self, your inner child, and your present self, while also, you know, being a part of the change in the world. So, I hope this helped. Watch the things, listen to the things, allow your inner child to indulge, because it's safe now. Hopefully. Hopefully you're safe now to do that. If you want to watch, you know, I'm thinking of that, what was it, the ducks, the McDucks or something. I don't know, why am I getting this image? There's this cartoon, it was these ducks, it was a Daffy Duck, but they had like this big room full of like gold coins. I don't know what this was. It was a movie. But anyway, whatever you want to watch, Fern Gully, you know, whatever movies from childhood, Nemo, I don't know how old you are. Whatever movies it was that you loved in childhood, eventually someone probably told you it was stupid because you had a t-shirt on or a backpack or some sort of memorabilia because it was your fucking favorite, and then some douche was like, that's dumb, and you never liked it again. But it's your favorite. Watch that and enjoy it, and remember how much the little one inside of you needs you to do that, okay? I'm crying. I'm gonna let you go. But really take care of the little one within you, okay? We've all been hurt, varying degrees, okay? And in this moment in time when children are actually being preyed upon by like empires, it's really important for the rest of us who have the ability to heal our own inner child so that we can be comrades and friends to these kids who need support, okay? Have a good one.